Thanks, everybody, and welcome to this webinar. Thanks for joining. So, as usual, the discussions will be both for the technical audience as well as non-technical audience. And also, because as you know, the users of this Chat GPT and Chat GPT4 are versatile, okay? And probably people are trying a lot of things and a lot of newer things are coming up. So I'll not go much into what you can do or what you cannot do into that. Rather, I'll give a background on what is the background of this generative artificial intelligence and of course ChatGPT. Okay, what are those models? How it works? A little bit on that. Probably will go a little bit technical, but I'll try to keep it a little bit high level so that our non-technical audience they can also have some recipes from this discussion. And probably I know all of you are already using ChatGPT. It is very hot today, and also those who are using the paid version, they are also trying out with GPT-4. And you can actually do many things there. People are every day I'm finding something in social media or in YouTube or somewhere else in the blogs that they have tried this thing with GPT-4 or ChatGPT, which is GPT 3.5, and they are essentially getting very surprising kind of things. I mean, many of the things ChatGPT 3 and 4 can easily solve in a very creative way. But yeah, in some of the instances, it also fails or it is giving some wrong explanation or wrong results. So that is obvious, right? Because it is an AI model. Even we human do mistakes. So why not AI? But the good part is it is learning, okay, and it is getting more and more mature. So probably in a couple of months, okay, and things are happening very fast, by the way. I mean, it is now we cannot say years or something like that. In weeks and months, newer things are coming, newer versions are coming, and essentially these newer versions are much more better than the older versions. So with that, I'll just share a PPT. I've got only a couple of slides, and some of those slides actually I have used for my last presentation also. So yeah, just please let me know if you can see my slide. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so as I mean, these are very basic slides, but many people are thinking, is it a advanced chatbot? Of course, it has got some chatbot characteristics or features, but it is not a pure chatbot as such, right? Because we have used chatbot. Probably everybody has encountered or interacted with chatbot, and I think the experience was not very great. At least for me, interacting with most of the chatbots in last 5 years was not very great. Okay, because it has been hyped by many IT companies like it is self-learning, self-enriching, okay, creative, this, that, and all those things. But I found it not that intelligent, right? And probably the same experience many of you are having. But during these 5-6 years, things has changed dramatically, right? And if you see today, I think chatbots are very intelligent, right? And behind the scene, there is a engine called NLP engine, which works in a normal chatbot kind of a thing. But when we talk about ChatGPT, we cannot say it is a pure chatbot kind of a thing, okay? Because technically it is something else behind the scene. Is it a NLP engine or a language model? Yeah, to some extent, yes, it's a language model. But today, even you cannot call it as a language model because GPT-4 has gone beyond the language, right? So till GPT 3.5, which is Chat GPT, it was more of a language model dealing with text mainly. But GPT-4 is not restricted to chat only language, right? So neither it's a pure NLP engine, okay, vanilla NLP engine that we have used using some natural language processing techniques or probably a deep learning model, or nor it is purely a language model today, right? So that also you need to understand. Is it a conversational AI? Yes, it's a conversational AI to a certain extent because it is ultimately we are doing a conversation, right? So in that way, it is definitely conversational AI. But yeah, it is again not purely conversational AI. So what it is, right? So it is actually a branch or a division of artificial intelligence or cognitive science called generative AI, right? So now, what is generative AI? Okay, and that's how nowadays probably people are listening to a lot of generative AI, right? So we knew only AI. Now we are seeing a lot of different types of AI. So we saw computer vision. So that is a different vertical of AI, which normally deals with how the AI can process images, right? So images, videos, and all other things. Now this is generative AI, right? So this is again a different kind of different vertical of cognitive science, and it is essentially so. Okay, before coming to generative AI, just for our audience, just to give some kind of a background. So when we talk about AI or artificial intelligence, it is an umbrella term, right? So there are multiple technologies that comes under AI, okay, and broadly we call it AI, okay. And this is a little bit misleading because what happens, like we use these words very interchangeably, okay, AI, machine learning, NLP, okay, deep learning, generative AI, computer vision, so a lot of things. I mean, it's kind of a very misleading sometimes. So just to give a little bit of perspective, AI is an umbrella term, okay, and under AI there is a main subdivision which is called machine learning. Okay, so machine learning is something where machine can learn, okay, and it can act like a human. Okay, so in a very general term, or many things, it has the predictive nature and all other things, right? Under this machine learning, there is another subvertical which is called deep learning, okay, which is again using something called neural networks. So neural networks are like inspired from how our brain works, right? So like in a human brain, we've got billions of neurons, right? So people say there are 100 billion neurons in a full-grown brain, okay? A human like us, full-grown, we have got around 100 billion neurons, right? And they process all the information, okay? So whatever we see, whatever you smell, or whatever we hear, ultimately goes to those neurons. They processes that information. Okay, ultimately we get some kind of a result, and we can perceive the world. So whatever we perceive in this world is basically through our neurons, neuronal system. Okay, it's kind of a neuronal synaptic computer systems, right? So it is like, so let's take the example of visual systems. So if we when we see something, it goes through our retina, right? And it falls into visual cortex, because we are talking about the visual element. Okay, we are not talking about sound or senses, other senses right now. Okay, but if we take the example of visual system, this thing, so the image goes to our through our retina to our visual cortex. So there is a mechanism there wherein that light rays are converted into electrical signals there. Okay, and this electrical signals falls into different layers of neurons, right? And as I told you, like 100 billion neurons we have. And in the neuron, these are special cells in the brain, and this works in a very amazing way, right? So these are different from the normal body cells. So first of all, these cells are actually minus 50 microvolt potentially charged than the surrounding of that cell, right? So it is a little bit charged. And second thing, whenever a electrical signal falls into a neuron, what happens? A special phenomena starts happening into those neurons, which is called protein synthesis, right? So, how protein synthesis is a chemical phenomena or a chemical reaction, and what it does is it produces actually it increases the potential difference, okay, of that neuron and the surrounding area, right? So, potential difference becomes more and more. Okay, and this neurons works in a threshold mechanism, right? So when the potential difference goes beyond a particular threshold limit, what it does is it fires the electrical signal to the next neuron, right? And these neurons are connected through something called synapse. So synapse is kind of a wire-like structure, okay, and it works as a pathway for the electrical signals from one neuron to another neuron, right? So in that way, like billions of neurons are involved, okay, or at least millions of neurons are involved to process any kind of visual information that we get in our visual cortex and then into our brain. Okay, so it goes layer after layer, layer after layer. This this neuron fires the electrical signal. It goes to the next layer to next layer. Like that, it processes. Now, what happens here? I mean, of course, fine. It is firing. What do you call one layer to another layer, but what exactly happens, right? So what happens actually is essentially the any visual inputs which is coming, right? So the significant, okay, so there are dark portions, there are lighter portions and all. So the significant information, okay, which has got that much of a strength, okay, which will pass through the different layers of neurons, right? But those which are insignificant, lighter kind of information, that what happens is that actually dies in between, right? Okay, and ultimately in the decision-making layer, we get a image, okay, or kind of a decision, okay, which the brain takes it as a final decision kind of a thing. Right? So this is how it goes. So I will not go much deeper into that. It is just to give you some idea. And again, why I'm giving that idea is basically so you will get a lot of videos, a lot of YouTube, this, that, and all those things on the uses of ChatGPT. Because I am not going into that. Okay, I'm not much into that. Rather than I'm trying to give you some idea on how exactly this AI works, right? So that is, I think, important. And of course, we'll go into ChatGPT. So like that. So now this is how neural network works, right? So this generative AI, okay, which we call, here also we use a neural network called a transformer neural network, essentially. Okay. And this beauty of this neural network is once this neural network is trained with a huge amount of data, okay, what it can do, it can actually generate some fresh content out of it, right? That means once it is trained with huge amount of data, okay, so for example, let's take the example of text. So now, if this neural network is trained with an epic like Ramayana or Mahabharata, okay, I'm just giving some example. So now, this neural network will not only understand the text of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are the two great epics of India, but also what it is going to understand is the characters, is the relationship between the characters, is the emotions, is the plots, story plots, right? So it will understand everything, right? And now if you ask something on Ramayana, it will give you example in such a fresh way, okay, that it is not kind of a copying and pasting from somewhere, okay, some text from here on the Ramayana and giving you an example. But, okay, it actually applies its intelligence and then gives the example and how exactly it happens in the brain, okay? So by the way, just to give you a little bit on that, our brain doesn't contain any kind of fresh content, right? For that matter, nothing. It is all the information that we get from somewhere else. And after that, it has been cooked, okay, in different way. And we attach different kind of other experiences, other information into that. And whenever we are writing something or doing something, or creating something new, it is nothing but, okay, it is basically we are using the information from those sources and presenting it in a fresh way. And there we are bringing, of course, we are bringing creativity, we are bringing a lot of other things and all those things. Because from those other experiences and other information, our brain understands the basics, the world behind that. Okay? And with that understanding, it comes up with a new content. The same goes for generative AI. So when generative AI is trained with Ramayana and Mahabharata, it understands the world behind the story of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, it is very important to understand. Please make a note of it. Okay, probably you can see one of the videos from Ilya. Okay, I will talk about Ilya. Who is Ilya? So he's the chief technology officer, CTO, and chief scientist in OpenAI, and he's the core brain behind a lot of these things, right? So the generative models, okay, it is not only understanding the text, but also very importantly, it understands the world behind the text. Because when we present a text or when we train a model with a text, it is not just simple text. Okay, what is that text? In that text, we are talking about the world, right? When we talk about Ramayana, it is a story. It's a real world story, right? So there are what do you call it? Humans behind that story. Ram is there, Ravana is there, all other characters are there. What they are doing, what are their characters, what are their emotions, what are their sentiments, everything has been captured by this kind of model. So very important to understand that. Okay, so this is generative AI. Now these are some examples. I will not go much into that. So these are some of the images that generated by generative AI, right? No such real human exists in this world. Okay, so these are some bride and grooms basically. And what it has learned the stereotypical trails of these different communities, right? Different states. Okay, and that's how it has generated. And you see, this is, although it is not perfect, but it has tried to do a great job, right? It has tried to bring some of those elements into that. So this is generative AI. These are not real pictures. No such human exists in this world. Okay, these are complete, and this is not generated from any other images, by the way. Okay, it is not generated from any other images. This model has been trained with a lot of images, and this is the fresh image it has generated from the brides and grooms of Indian origin. Right? Same goes for this. Okay, so this is like how Indian cities like Delhi, Kolkata will look like. Okay, if snowfall happens. Okay, this is generated by AI. Okay, many people are already, you know it, right? Many people have probably used deep fakes also. Okay, I don't know. This is not recommendable, but yeah. So deep fakes can create almost originally. You cannot do that. So this is something generative AI. Okay, completely fresh content from its intelligence it is built. Right? Now, also interestingly, okay, just by looking at the face of the parents, okay, it can predict how the child will look like. Okay, so this child has probably not taken birth yet. Okay, but at the age of 10, how he should look like? Because normally at the age of say 2-3 years or something like that, all child looks almost similar. Right? It is very similar. At least at the time of birth, it is, for me at least, it is very difficult to differentiate or distinguish child. So all are, similar, looking similar. Okay, so just by looking at the face, analyzing the face of the parents, it can say how their child can look like. Okay, so this is again part of that generative AI, right? So now let's understand a little bit of how the deep learning models, basically neural networks, has evolved into, and the generative AI has come. Okay, so I want to bridge that gap. Okay, so give that complete picture, right? So every one of you, and by the way, generative AI is not new. Okay, and generative AI is neither it's a sole property of OpenAI. Okay, this research has already been done. These things, there were a lot of products came early. Okay, you can see here. Okay, these were failure because of different reasons. Okay, and I will tell you what are the reasons in later slides. Okay, so it is not like that. OpenAI has just first time tried the generative AI kind of thing. Okay, so it is successful, but before that also a lot of these models has already been tried. Most of them were a failure because of different reasons, right? And I will tell you the reasons later. Now, don't give attention, again I'm saying, don't give any kind of attention to the diagrams and don't try to understand the diagrams. I'm just trying to show the evolution of neural networks. So, like last decade, if you look at, or even this decade also to some extent, but I'm just telling last decade, it was the age of convolutional neural network. So it was like, I mean, the real application of convolutional neural network and all, everywhere it was there for mainly for computer vision, a lot of applications, and these are amazing applications. Okay, I don't say that other common neural networks were not popular. Of course, recurrent neural network LSTMs are also very, very popular. But if you have to give the credit of that revolution of computer vision, it goes to convolutional neural network, right? So this is a neural network, feed-forward network. This type of neural networks are called feed-forward neural network. Are very good at image processing, image understanding, all kind of image related these things. But what we were basically missing is basically we didn't have. Okay, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about the past. We didn't have a very powerful neural network for text processing. Okay, so that was kind of a problem. So recurrent neural network was there that came, and it was also good to some extent, but it has got some very fundamental problem. Okay, and these problems are essentially called the vanishing gradient and an exploding gradient. And I don't go with this jargons. Okay, just relax. So that means whenever a machine learning model learns, it learns gradually. Okay. Okay. So if you see the curve, it will be like this. Okay? It cannot be like this. If it is going like this, then that means it is not learning, right? Or it cannot be just flat. Then also it is not learning, right? So it is like a child. Okay, child learns slowly. You cannot put a 1 year child, a 3 year child directly to class 10. You will not be able to learn anything, right? So that process is required from class 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to and then 10, okay, and class 2, that kind of thing, right? So same goes for machine learning models. But this particular fellow, recurrent neural network, was not good at that. At some point of time, it goes like its learnability becomes almost zero, okay, which is called the vanishing gradient, or sometimes it explodes, which is called exploding gradient, right? So these were the two problems. Then we came up with another model, which is basically called the LSTM, okay, long short term memory. This is a variant of recurrent neural network only, but this is a little bit different, and it can easily deal with that. I mean, it can easily it resolves the problem of the vanishing gradient and exploding gradient to a great extent. And I must say that probably this is one of the text model that has been used most in this world. Okay, so it has been used in Google when you do any kind of translation. It has been used in even search. It has been used in any language text processing things that you have been using till now. Okay, this is the most used neural network behind the scene. This variant of neural network. Of course, I mean there should be some kind of tweaking of this neural network, but on a high level, you will think LSTM, long short-term memory, okay, that model of neural network is the most used neural network for text processing till today. Till today means till a couple of months back, till ChatGPT came, right? Now, this neural network is pretty good at solving those vanishing gradient, this gradient problems. It has been trained with a lot of things, but it has also got a limitation that it cannot be trained, okay, when the parameters are like humongous parameters. Okay, when we talk about millions, billions of parameters, right? So it is not good at that. How to solve that? Then we came up, it is kind of a game changer, essentially. in the world of artificial intelligence, and that's what you see today. Like now you all can imagine like what artificial intelligence can do, okay, and what it will be doing in the future, right? So this is called something transformer neural network. Okay, so the transformer model. Now this transformer model, by the way, is neither the property of OpenAI nor the property of any other company. Okay, it is essentially a joint venture and joint research of University of Toronto and Google. Right. So here many researchers were there, and I'll tell you some of the researchers who are involved there. Okay. So and they have published a paper, okay, which is basically transformer. Now this transformer neural network, now it is pretty good at, I mean, you can train it with billions of parameters. So this is like amazing. Okay, I mean all. So that's why you see, right? Chat GPT 3.5, which is, I mean, GPT is 3.5, which is Chat GPT, is said to be trained with 175 billion parameters. Okay, so this is almost all books, public books, digital books available in the internet, all wiki pages, all conversations that you have done in social media with your friends, all blogs that you have written. Okay, so everything has been trained with all the tweets that you have done. Okay, so it has been trained with tweet also, and Elon Musk has said now he will be charging for that. Okay, so those were some rumors going on. So it has been trained with that much of data, and the transformer neural network is capable of understanding, holding that kind of intelligence and information for that amount of data. Okay, so this is a revolutionary paper, basically, which is one. So now this was also not enough, right? And so basically the two mans basically behind this neural network transformer were these two people. Of course, I mean, I'm not going into very because this is the evolution, right? So we know transformer. Before that also there were a lot of things, but these two person has great contribution to this, right? So Jeffrey Hinton, you all of you know, right? So he's the person, I mean, whatever this person on the right side, okay, whatever we see today in the AI, okay, he has got a great contribution. Okay, so you can say he's the god of AI, in fact, modern AI, right? So the backpropagation for neural networks, so he has come up with that kind of thing. Whatever you have seen that the AlexNet, okay, the ImageNet competition, that network, and all kind of neural networks. He has got a great contribution. He's a great scientist. Okay, so his student or chela, you can say, okay, in our language. Ilya, he's born in Russia, okay, and he has grown up basically in Israel, and then his family migrated to Canada, right? And a very early stage of his life, okay, this person have a huge inclination towards artificial intelligence, neural networks, and all those things, right? And he worked very closely in the University of Toronto with Jeffrey, right? And these two persons actually the most what do you call credit, okay, the biggest credit you can say goes to these two persons, okay, who has revolutionized the entire thing, okay. And one paper published by Ilya and some other scientists, okay, which then, and by the way, these are the most contributor, but there are other people also. So this guy, okay, Indian guy, a Google researcher, okay, he again came up with another paper, okay, on transformer neural network, which is called "Attention is All You Need." The name of this paper. Okay, so this is something called attention model. Now, neural network, the transformer neural network is trained with huge amount of data, right? It is huge amount, and all the intelligence is there with them. But when you are firing a query, or you are asking a question, okay, or you are requesting something to this GPT model, how generative, the transformer model, how it can bring the relevant information quickly and give it to you. Okay, that's what is the attention model. So it knows where to put the attention, where to give the attention, okay, and which information needs to be given to you on a high level. I'm saying, okay, again, highly technical people, please don't go by what I'm saying, because I'm saying for both kind of audience. Okay, so there are a lot of things behind that, and I can spend days talking about that. So this is called attention and self-attention, basically. And self-attention is the heart of Chat GPT that you are seeing today. There were a lot of other transformer models available there. There was one model with Google, still it is there. It has been trained with 500 billion parameters, more than 3 times more than ChatGPT, right? Okay, but this model was not successful, or they have not released it for public for different reasons. Okay, so this transformer model was there. Okay, now this attention mechanism gives a different dimension to this transformer neural network, right? And this guy has a great contribution to it. Not only, credit goes to a lot of other people. You can see the names, okay? But Ashish Paswani, you can see the first name appearing in that paper. He has got a great contribution to that, okay? And we should feel proud of that. He's an Indian. Coming to, so these are the technical background of how this thing has been transformed. So now it is not an invention. So many people thought, oh, okay, OpenAI has done great thing. No, it is not at all an invention of OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI has, what it has done is extended that Ilya, basically, that guy, he's the chief technology officer and chief scientist of OpenAI. Okay, brilliant guy. Okay, he has been throughout the journey of this transformer neural network. He basically came up with this idea that how we can train a generative model with a huge amount of data and bring that intelligence into that, and how we can essentially serve or how we can use it, okay, for by giving different kind of queries, or by throwing different kind of questions, on how it can give fresh content, okay, back, is something the credit goes to him, right? Otherwise, there were many people behind this, the entire scientific invention that has happened in this generative AI ecosystem, or you can say, right? So, and then after that, so now what is that? How GPT? So the same. GPT-3 and GPT-4 is, I think, only the. I'll come to the difference, okay, because that is a multi-model model. So I'll come to the concept. But let's talk about GPT-3 first. Okay, so this pre-trained transformers. Okay, so it is pre-trained, as you all know. Okay, and it has been trained with everything. Okay, books, articles, blogs, research papers, everything, whatever was available, it was given training. Of course, after training, there was also a validation process. And what it can do, it can generate text, it can language translation, text classification. This is GPT-3, 3.5, yeah? which we know as ChatGPT, right? So it can do all those things. But having said that, yeah, and it can also hold the long-term relationship, very, very long-term relationship between and hold the context. Okay, so that is also very important to understand for the technical people. Okay, holding and understanding the long-term relationship, okay, in a text, okay, is very, very crucial for a model like generative AI, and it is quite capable of that. And second thing is holding the context of the conversation is also very, very important. And ChatGPT is pretty good at both. Okay, so this is for the technical audience. So this is, and then how it has been trained. Okay, so it has been trained with something. There are various techniques used. Out of that, Okay, so it is a reinforcement learning technique. Okay, which is kind of a technique used, kind of a reward and punishment kind of a technique, right? So when the system does good, it gives rewards. Okay, when the system actually doesn't do good, I mean, somehow it has been punished. Okay, in a very layman term, we can say. So this reinforcement learning technique has been used here, and also the human assistant is also done. Okay, so now they will be doing a different kind of a thing. Okay, going forward in the future, like while you are interacting with the GPT model, okay, without giving any thumbs up or thumbs down, right? Okay, uh, it will be able to learn from your interaction. So that is the future goal. How they are going to do it, I don't know. Okay, I don't have any clue. Probably they are doing it. Whether they will capture your facial expression, if your camera is okay, or if you are asking that question and you are not satisfied, and again you are asking that question in a different way, and through that it will understand that no, I need to do a better job because the last time what I have done probably is not up to the satisfaction of the user. So whatever may be the case, and whatever mechanism they use, I don't know, but already OpenAI has told that their final aim is the model will learn, okay, when you interact with it without the thumbs up and thumbs down uh, 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 mechanism, right? So that is a very raw kind of thing. Although this kind of thing, but also it is not only that, they have also uh, this human assisted reinforcement learning. For that, in fact, OpenAI has recruited many people. Okay, so there were some uses in different these things. So I can tell you, I think I have got a slide for that also. I don't know. Yeah. So this is the news. Okay, so a lot of people from Kenya, right? Low paid workers, and then they actually validated the answers and give feedback line, right? So that was the news, and that came in Times, by the way, kind of thing. OpenAI, they say no, not like that, but yes, there were people who actually helped ChatGPT model to be better and better by giving them assistance, right? So we'll come to that. So let's just quickly finish this. I don't know how much time we have. Yeah, we have got around 20 minutes, and we'll be, I think, able to finish it up. Okay, so this is generative pre-trained. Okay, so it is again supervised. Okay, fine tuning with human feedback kind of a thing. Okay, those who are technical, they know it very well. Okay, and reinforcement learning, basically in a reinforcement learning, I mean, if you look at on a very high level, we used a reward function. Okay, it's very mathematical, right? And with that reward function, we can understand that whether it is giving the correct answer or not, and accordingly we give the feedback, right? So that is there. Yeah. Okay, so now why it's not, yeah. So heart of, as I told you, heart of GPT model is basically attention layer. Okay, so this is the self attention kind of a thing. Okay, it knows where to pay attention. Okay, so that is very important. And GPT-3 is trained with, as per the public information available, 175 billion parameters. Okay, and the optimization technique that is used is like proximal optimization, proximal policy optimization technique. So this is a kind of optimization technique. So every machine learning model needs to be optimized, and there are various optimization techniques. And this is the optimization technique that has been used for GPT 3.5 and same for GPT-4 also. In that way, I think these two models are not much different. Now, answers, right? So yeah, we have seen that for GPT-3, there are a lot of unsatisfactory answers. The quality of output was not that great in many cases. But GPT-4 is much better, right? And I think many of you have already used, right? Much better. I was surprised. Much more better. because I took the subscription just a couple of days back, and I have used it. It's far better, right? Now, very important thing for users, you need to know how to actually interact with GPT, okay, to get a better result. So if you are giving a very one-liner question, okay, so you will also get a very generic kind of answer. If you want a very nicely written, say probably you want to write a press release, okay, press release for your company, okay, so your company has launched a product or something like that, and you want to write a press release. Now you need to know how to ask that to ChatGPT. Write a chat, please write a press release for me for this product launch, one liner. You will also get a very generic kind of a thing, but keep the information. Okay, we are launching a product. This product has this features. Okay, this will benefit the users in this way. Okay, if you write all those things and ask ChatGPT, you will see, you will be amazed. In fact, okay, whether GPT-3 or 3.5 or GPT-4, you will be amazed. It will give a very good kind of a press release to you. But if you don't know how to ask it, you will get a very generic kind of answer. So now it is very, very important in this world today, as we are now dealing with all machines, interacting with machines, how to interact with the machines, right? So this is also going to be a skill. This is also going to be a art of asking questions to this kind of generative models, right? So quality of output depends on quality of input. That means what you ask, how good that is, your output will depend on that. This is very, very important for journalism, because many people came away with, you see, I mean, this answer, I mean, I asked for an article, okay, and you see the quality of articles. I said, yeah, you look at what was your question, what was your input. Your input was two-liner input or one-liner input. How it will understand everything, right? You have to give some context. You have to give. You can paste the full what do you call A4 size complete text, right? Doesn't matter. It will need to understand everything. First, it will process, understand everything, and then it will generate the output. Right? So you have to give as much information as possible to ChatGPT if you want a quality output. Okay. So what I asked, this is again ChatGPT 3, yeah. Flow and code for detecting fraud in banking transactions. So I give some information, not just this, I give some information. And it has given me a very nice step-by-step these things. Okay, how to identify fraud in a fraudulent activity in a banking transaction. Okay, it has written the code also. Also, of course, it's a pseudocode. This code, you cannot use it for your real production. It has given me how to do that. Okay, and everything, anything and everything, I mean, which is required. So this is just a snippet I have pasted here, but it gave me, and I have asked a follow-up question also, and it gave me a very detailed step-by-step process to build a model in Python, okay, using some libraries for detecting fraud in banking transactions. So if you have a CSV file or an Excel file or a database, okay, with this thing, it is given very nicely, and it is definitely correct. And now the same thing in ChatGPT is much. So this is GPT-3. In GPT-4, it is comprehensive, much better than GPT-3. So this is from GPT-3, 3.5, ChatGPT. Okay, and for GPT-4, you can try that. Okay, you give some information, write the code as well as flow for building a machine learning model to detect fraudulent transactions in banking environment or something like that. Okay, so you can ask that, and it will give you a brilliant answer. Trust me, guys. Okay, and same I have done for many real kind of things out of my interest. Okay, as I am coming from a banking world, so normally for credit risk assessment also, I have asked them how to write a model to do credit risk assessment. Okay, and I have given some more information there, and it gave me beautifully okay, beautifully. Okay, and I myself I'm amazed with that kind of answers. And GPT-4 is far better, far better than that. Okay, so same thing. Out of my curiosity, I also asked again. It is Chat GPT, that means GPT 3.5. Write me a screenplay, okay, drama screenplay. Okay, so probably those who are in creative field, they day in day out they write this kind of screenplay for their drama or for their movie or even for the serials and TV everywhere. I mean, in the media field, everywhere it is required, right? Or Jack and Jill. Okay, so Jack and Jill is a very popular story, right? Jack and Jill went up the hill. So the same thing. I have given them, and gave me a nice uh, pause. It gave me nice screenplay, you can see. Okay, and same thing I've done with GPT-4 also. And it is far better. Both are good, in fact, right? So this is the power of ChatGPT. So what it can do, you all know. So I'll not go into that. This slide is, it can generate content, article, blog, research papers, and all that. And this is basically more from a GPT-3 point of view. Now you can extend the same thing for GPT-4, because GPT-4 is again something called multi-modal. That means it not only can process text, but also it can process images, it can process audio, it can process video, right? And it can understand, okay? It can generate, okay? And I'll come to that. So this is more from a GPT-3 perspective, and you can extrapolate this for GPT-4. It can generate or translate any content, okay? It is better than Google Translate, guys. Write any code, debug any code, translate any code from one language to another language, right? You have written something in Python and you want to do it in JavaScript or Java or .NET, C#, you can do it, okay? Create a website, okay? Create application, apps, okay? Tomorrow you will see, like, okay, just by writing something, you will get a mobile app, okay? You need not have to write anything. Okay, it will write in Flutter and give you this thing, or on in native this thing, right? Get ideas, concepts. This is also very, very important. Okay, now in GPT-4, like, you give some items, or you take a photograph of your refrigerator. Okay, it can give you the recipes, right? What are the different kind of recipes that you can make out of that? You give some ingredients and it will give recipes, okay, different recipes, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, you can ask, it can do. So these are some very cool features, and you all know. Let's not spend much time on that. Okay, extract data, it can do data, it can write music, poems, songs, everything, extract data, it can actually give you a very good analytics kind of a thing. Okay, mathematics, people said it is not very good at mathematics. GPT-4 is pretty good at mathematics. Okay, I myself has tried. I don't know the experience of others. I have tried. Okay, I have tried linear algebra. I have tried calculus. I have tried a lot of other things. Pretty good, I can say. Okay, yeah, it can write. I mean, if you want to do infrastructure provisioning, okay, and you want to do infrastructure provisioning, it can write the complete code for you. It can write any kind of automation code, right? So that is also possible with ChatGPT. So many things it can do. So the possibilities are endless. Okay, this was again GPT Gita was there. Okay, so you can ask anything. This was trained with. This is also a generative model. Okay, not ChatGPT, but somebody has trained with Bhagavad Gita, right? And you can ask any question to Lord Sri Krishna, and it will give you answers, right? So it was there. GPT for enterprises, now how it will be used. So you know right now, okay. This slide was a little bit older, but you know, so they have already started paid APIs for GPT, right? And then these are some of the things definitely they will be offering, and they have already started offering kind of thing. So this is for enterprise, okay, and you will be able to use it for your enterprise. So tomorrow, if you want to integrate any of GPT services to your application, you can really do it. So for example, tomorrow it will be like some regulatory component, right? GPT for regulation, on a particular area, on banking. Okay, so just by integrating that API, probably you will get all the regulatory requirements for your applications, okay, on the fly from the GPT. So those things are also, I mean, so people who are in fintech, there will be a lot of use cases for there, right? For customer service, it is endless, right? So customer service is definitely going to be revolutionized by ChatGPT, okay? And people have already started. In EduTech also, Khan Economy and all that, they have started building their applications using ChatGPT. Kind of similarly, in many applications, okay, I would say almost all applications have some space to use the generative AI, right? And will be use it very efficiently and safely in a couple of. There are some limitations at this point of time because the content that is coming, who is going to validate that content, how to validate that content, and everything. So that needs to be taken care. Otherwise, the possibilities are endless. Okay. Yeah, so these are some generic this thing. So it is for everyone. In fact, it is not only for developers or creative people, but for everyone. Yeah, so this is very important. So toxic content. Okay, so I think last time also I discussed the same thing. And if you remember my slide, earlier slide, that there were a lot of generative models that were being released earlier also, but they were a failure. It is because of toxic content, and it didn't know how to decline to answer, right? So somebody was asking something, who is going to win that election? It was saying Donald Trump at that point of time in US. Okay, so that was a ridiculous answer when Joe Biden was winning at that point of time. Okay, and also some derogative, very derogative kind of answer it was given, right? And then they took it back. So although those models were also being capable of answering questions, but it didn't know how to actually decline to answer questions, or second thing, how to filter out toxic contents or contents which should not be spoken publicly, right? And that is very important thing. And I think ChatGPT has been able to resolve that issue to a great extent, and that's the success behind ChatGPT, right? So all those models that I have shown you in that slide were only because of that they had to take it back, right? So now if you ask ChatGPT, okay, should I invest in this stock or not? Okay, it will decline your answer. It knows, okay, where to decline and how to decline. It will politely decline you. So that is, it's also been built within that. So this is not part of generative model. This is neither part of your this thing. So this is something which OpenAI has implemented in a very intelligent way into the generative model. Okay, and that is their innovation, that is their invention. That's right. And as I've shown in this slide, so there were many news that they have. They have hired a lot of people, low cost people from Kenya here. People were saying from India also. A lot of people were working on training ChatGPT. Okay, wherever it is not giving the correct answers on all those things. It may be true, it may be not true. I don't know. Okay, but there were newses, and you can see those newses publicly. Now, GPT-4. Okay, let's discuss a little bit on GPT-4. What is that? So first of all, as I am again and again, I was referring that it is a multi-model, okay, GPT model. So it is not only restricted to language and text, but also image, audio, video, and all. Okay. So how it is different from that? Nothing different. Exactly, it has been trained with images, it has been trained with audio, trained with video. Of course, maybe, okay, the architecture of the neural network used is a little bit different. How it is different, nobody knows. That is OpenAI's IP. Okay, nobody can say. If somebody is saying, no, I know how it works, then he is bluffing. So that is their IP, right? It can process up to 32K tokens. Okay. So around 50K words. Some people say 60K words, some 50K words. To be on the safer side, I say 50K words because nobody knows. they are giving some others. So different answers. Even in OpenAI site also, I got some 32K tokens kind of. Multi-personality. Okay, it is not personality actually, kind of. So it has got a verbosity. Okay, and tone and style, and it can have different tones and styles. Unlike GPT-3, 3.5, Chat GPT, it has got only singular tone and style. So this is multi-personality. So that is very important to understand. Better accuracy, of course, because you can see the accuracy parameters in the OpenAI site. Okay, GPT 3.5 versus GPT-4. Okay, much better, much these things, and really they have done an incredible job in very short time, kind of thing. It can, some of the things, examples they have given is, you can just sketch something in a paper and give it to GPT-4. It can actually create a full-blown what do you call website for you, right? So that is possible. It can analyze and understand images, videos. It can understand the story behind the image. It can also make it humorous. Okay, so there are a lot of examples that we have seen. It can create a very humorous kind of jokes, kind of things from different photographs that have been provided there. It can write better code, translate better code. You can try it out. Okay, I have tried. So my interest, as I am a technical person, so my interest mostly goes into this kind of things. You can try with different type of codes, converting it, reverse engineering it, this, that, and all those things. It does brilliantly. You can try. Okay. And who said it is not good in mathematics? He has not tried it, right? Okay, he has tried some small, simple things. Try with typical things. It's pretty good in mathematics also now. Okay, I would say, right? Convert code one language to another, as I told you. And this thing I have done a lot of things. In fact, one of my own very practical these things, I was actually thinking to convert it into latest these things, and I've been able to do it to a great extent. Now, still I'm working on that. So this is for GPT-4. Now, again, this is, again, last time also I discussed, is it going to replace Google, this, that, and all those things? So these are all rumors, okay? Nothing, definitely it is going to give a tough competition to Google, okay? But Google, I mean, the purpose of a search engine and purpose of a generative AI is completely different. I mean, how we can say that it is going to replace Google or something like that. Yes, it is going to give a competition in terms of hits, right? Because now people are more and more coming to this. Otherwise, there was one stop shop for everyone was Google. Okay, anything you know, anything you want, you just go to Google first, kind of thing. So they're losing some of their what do you call hits in their side. But otherwise, their business model is different from this business model. Okay, and Google has enough capability to come up with another generative model in another way and doing something. Okay? So of course, it's a competition, but it is not going to replace Google. Okay? To be in a mature way, right? I mean, in maturity, we can see anything. But in a mature way. Now, this is a very important question, and I don't understand. So that's why in fact, it is beyond my understanding. People says creativity, it will kill creativity. Now, I don't know what is the definition of creativity, right? So, I think this kind of whatever it is coming, these are just tools for us, right? For human being. We'll be using these tools for our better efficiency. Okay. Now coming to losing job or something like that, that is anyways there. All technical evolution, innovation that has happened, okay, that somehow or the other contributed to job losses. Okay. At the same time, it has created also lot many jobs, right? So if you think of industrial revolutions, we lost a lot of jobs when factories came and all those things. But at the same time, a lot of jobs have been created, right? And today we cannot think of a human-driven kind of a factory, right? It's not possible. It is no way a viable option, right? So, definition of creativity is basically changing. Creativity is not about. It is basically how smartly you can do things, right? And for that, probably you will be using a lot of tools. using tools are basically part of human civilization, evolution of human civilization, right? So we started with farming with nothing, probably stones and something like that. And there are a lot of farming tools came in the picture. Same thing, factories came with a lot of machineries. IT came with civical revolution. Okay, today we have got a cognitive revolution, wherein a lot of cognitive things we are doing in a smart manner. So these are all tools for us so that we can do our works better, right? This is nothing to do with creativity, nothing to kill your creativity, nothing to, there is no connection with your creativity. Probably it will enhance your creativity, okay? Because many of the things it can do for you, right? So that's what my opinion. Probably I'm wrong, and I don't want to go into a debate. Okay, this is my opinion. Again, disclaimer, my opinion. Yeah, with that, I will stop here. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer.
There are a couple of questions in Q&A section. So the first question is asked by Ashutosh. ChatGPT is an bot or a search engine or a complex problem solving platform?
Okay, so I mean, you can call it anything, but I would love to call it as a generative AI, and it has got the flavor of a chat, of course, because you are asking something and you are getting some answers, right? It has got some flavor of SaaS also, because if you probably whatever you are asking, okay, if it is kind of a search facility, it is searching from somewhere and giving you, but it is not a search engine. Why search engine? When we talk, it is basically bringing some information from the public internet, right? The information that is available in the public internet, like Google does or Bing does. But here, it is not like that. This model is trained with this information, okay? And now, whenever it is answering that, it is answering of its own way. It is not directly bringing any information, which I say. So that's why I think it will not be very correct to say it is a search engine. Search engine is basically I'm searching public internet and bringing relevant information from there, but none of the content is my content, right? It is from somebody. Here also indirectly it is that, but it has been trained, and the content that you are getting is the fresh content. Okay, nobody can claim that content given by this chat GPT is my content. No, it is not. Probably chat GPT has been trained with his book, what he has written, right? But it has digested that book, okay, and the content that is creating is a fresh content, new content. So that is the difference. But you can call it anything. I mean, name, it doesn't matter.
So there's one more question by Ajit. It means students can retrieve project report information for their examination easily through ChatGPT. How can organization can prevent from such kind of malpractice?
So now, yes, so there are some discussions going on. I mean, these are not basically malpractices, right? So these are again tools. If somebody is generating his project report from ChatGPT and he is validating it intelligently, okay, personally, I see no, no objection, right? What's wrong with that? If I have to write an article today on a particular topic, okay, and I give all the information to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is giving me the answer, right? And I cannot directly publish it, okay, if I am a sensible person. I will have to validate it, right, with my brain, okay, whatever I have thought, because while asking the question also I have thought, my thought process has gone into that, okay, I have written 2 paragraphs, okay, and it has given me an answer, a nice blog or an article, and now I will have to validate also, okay, and I'll have to see, no, this portion is not correct, I'll have to remove that, and probably I want to add something, so then I'm typing and adding something. So same goes for project report. What's wrong with that? I don't think so. But the problem is not there. Problem is some other these things, and where regulatory things are there. Let me spend 1 minute on this. So already, even in India also, some regulatory discussions are going on how to put some kind of a regulation. We are not trying to stop everything, but some kind of a regulation, okay, so that it is not being misused in many other areas, right? So that revolution probably will come up. A draft will come up in some time, and then the final revolution will come up. So that will, but having said that, I think we need to change our outlook to a great extent. Okay. So as the technology is evolving, our lives are evolving, the circumstances are evolving, everything is evolving. Our outlook should also evolve, right? So I don't see any problem. Somebody is creating his resume with ChatGPT. Somebody is creating his project work with ChatGPT. No harm. What is there? Anyways, so if I tell you to create a project report, anyways, you will go to Google, you will take the reference of 4 or 5 such reports, this, that, and all those things, and then you will create of your own. Okay, you will putting that effort. Here also you will put that effort. You will ask a very sensible question. Give all the information to the ChatGPT for creating this project report, and then you will validate, you will rewrite it, you will tweak it. I don't think any kind of this thing. I may be wrong, but yes, if you ask me, no. World is changing, everything is changing. We should also change our outlook. Okay? These are only tools for us.
So there is one more question by Senthil Balaji. Can ChatGPT use for query my database and the answer for the natural language?
Yes. So those things are coming. So in ChatGPT4 also, those APIs, I think they will be giving, wherein basically you will be able to do analytics, right? Of course, those will be for enterprise version, not for public use. So wherein you give it a data set or kind of your connection to your database, okay, it can churn out that data, okay, do correlation, do all kind of this thing, okay, transformation, correlation, whatever is required to some extent, not to a great extent. It cannot replace your complete data warehouse or a data lake or your analytics, complete analytics model. No, that is not possible. But it will be able to give you. Okay, so many of those works will be able to do it. So today also, if you give some data in Excel sheet or this thing in GPT-4, it can analyze and it can give you the answer. So that facility is already there in the paid version in the APIs if you want to integrate it. So those things should be possible, yes.
Yeah. So there is one more question by Gyanendra. What is AI and ChatGPT? Why AI is required for ChatGPT?
Yeah. So coming to the very first answer that I have given is in the beginning of my this session. AI is a umbrella term, right? So AI is used for everything. This is again a part of cognitive science, which we call, okay, in the scientific language. If you ask a scientist, he will say it is a cognitive science. Cognitive science deals with cognition. Okay, so how we can actually mimic human brain, okay, into machine in semiconductor in a programmatic manner, right? So that is cognitive science, and this is basically called AI. Okay, under that AI, we have got machine learning. Machine learning, we have got deep learning. Again, generative AI is part of that. So AI, when we call AI or artificial intelligence, it is like a very common term, a generic term used for all the technologies. We are not talking about the nitty-gritties of the small technologies which are there inside that. Okay, so in that way, you can call it AI. Yeah, you can call it machine learning. You can call it generative AI. Okay, but this is ultimately pointing to the same thing. It's a cognitive science. It is AI. Okay, under that machine learning, deep learning, generative AI kind of thing. Then there is another vertical also, natural language processing. Normally people what do you call put it in other vertical, other bucket. We have got natural language processing, wherein it is basically the language modeling that we do, the vanilla language modeling. A lot of language processing techniques are there. So this is, I hope I answered your question.
I think there are a lot of questions are pouring in. I think we are already running out of time. So we'll take 3 more questions, and then again, what are the remaining questions we have, we'll try to answer it in our community. So there's one question by Ajay. What is the difference between generative AI and cognitive AI?
So cognitive AI, in the sense cognitive, everything is cognitive science, as I told you. Now, specifically generative AI is basically generative. I mean, the name itself says, okay, it can generate fresh content. Okay, this fresh word is very, very important. Okay, fresh in the sense it is not copying from anything. It is basically understanding first. Of course, it has the intelligence has come to the model from somewhere. Okay, it does not come out of the box, okay, out of the blue, right? It has come from somewhere, from some book or from some article or from some blog. Okay, it has come from somewhere. But when it is processing and answering you, it is actually answering in a fresh way. It is as good as like uh, you have what do you call read a novel, okay, and now somebody is asking you to answer uh, the questions from that novel, okay, or a book you are giving. So you will not be giving it line by line, copy by copy, because you don't remember it. You just remember the context, right, and what has happened. Now you are giving that. So same thing here also.
Great. So there is one question by Rachana Gopal. Is plug-in the only way to integrate GPT to other tools?
Currently, it is API. I don't know if they will be come up with some other mechanisms, because I think other mechanisms will be a little bit difficult uh, because it is a huge model, right? And uh, uh, probably in the future they will be coming up with specific model for a specific needs, but still then it's going to be a huge model. So I think API is the only integration mechanism that is going to happen. I don't know. I mean, till now, that is the thing.
So I think, sir, we'll take last two more questions. We are running out of time. So the one question is by Varun Upadhyaya. Great session as always. We are hearing about Runway, YAML, and Adobe Firefly. How is that going to affect or enhance our work?
Yeah, I think this is a different question, different this thing. I think that we can take up in this. I mean, this is not much related to that, but yes, that is definitely going to. That's a great thing, by the way. And you do that. Probably we can discuss that in Discord. So you have got a Discord, and I try to answer questions in Discord. So yeah, definitely we can answer that.
So this is the last question we'll take. How it by Gyanendra, how it will impact those who are not directly connected to AI or AI related service, like those who are working in traditional cultures like tribes and those who are not part of the main modern society, who are willing, who are still living in far Andaman African country. Will there be any positive impact or negative impact for those who are mostly make money by providing generating information like writers, newspaper reporters, teachers, actors, etc.?
Yeah, I think great question. One of the, I mean, one of the most important question and great question. And but before answering that question, by the way, today if you look at, I mean, the remotest places, right? What we think they are very, very remote, they are completely cut off from the modern society or kind of thing. It is not true. Okay, because I have visited a lot of places and I keep going a lot of places. Nowadays it is almost connected. Okay, if you even go to, I mean, you have said Africa and all. So African countries also, you go to the remotest part. Okay, you will find people are well connected nowadays, getting at least the educated people. So that is one thing. Even if you go to Amazon rainforest also, some tribes and all those things, you will see still internet is there and kind of thing. I have never gone to that kind of thing. But the question is like, what is going to happen with the creative people? So as I told you, the same thing. It is going to be a tool for this creative people, because now penetration of internet, mobile phone, and this kind of things will be everywhere, right? So if somebody, so let's take an example of Africa only, some African continent and beautiful artists. By the way, Africa has many beautiful artists, right? And even the NFTs created by African artists are one of the most demanding NFTs today. If you look at, right, non-fungible tokens, beautiful artists. What is going to happen there? Nothing is going to happen there, right? Because ChatGPT cannot replace them. That creativity is completely different. Okay, let's take the example of our in Bihar, we have got Madhubani arts, right? Madhubani. Do you think that ChatGPT can replace? No, probably it can produce similar kind of these things, or in our Odisha, right? So we have got some arts. Okay, they do some fine art. So you will see, one art itself they can actually tell the entire story of Ramayana or Mahabharata in one art. Okay, everything is there, or Dashavatara, everything is there itself, right? So those kind of art that will be there. Probably ChatGPT will also be able to produce similar kind of art, but the unique arts that has been created by those artists, they are not going to get this thing. So, my simple answer is, this is going to be a tool for even those people. Okay, and I'm pretty sure with the penetration of 5G, this, that, and all those things, right? Everybody tomorrow will have access to some kind of this kind of tools, and they will be able to leverage that in their profession. So that's what my wish is, and that actually wish it should be. It should not be only in the hand of couple of people, rich people or middle class people who are living in A grade, B grade cities. Okay, and all the people from our villages and from our remotest part of our country or the world are deprived of that. No, it should reach to everybody. Then only the benefits of this kind of tools will be actually sustainable. Okay, otherwise this is not going to be a sustainable ecosystem.
Great. Great answer, sir. I think, we are running out of time. Still, I see the question are pouring in. So, the question which has not answered, I request all of you to, join our community and try to post your questions in our community so that, we'll try to answer all of your questions. So, I just posted our community link over a chat. So, feel free to join our community where we'll be sharing free materials, free courses, and we try to engage you on a weekly basis. So I think it was a wonderful session, sir. So I think this was the second session which we planned on GPT and Chat GPT. So once again, I thank you everyone for taking out your time on Saturday morning and joining our TimesPro Tech Saturday webinars. So as an EdTech, we are also launching a couple of courses in Web3 domain like blockchain and metaverse. Also, we are launching few courses in, we are yet to launch a couple of courses in data science vertical also on GPT. So we are coming up with new programs. So once again, Utpal sir, it was a wonderful session. So thank you for taking out your time and joining and giving us an awareness about what ChatGPT is all about and ChatGPT 4. And great to have you. And once again, everyone, thank you for joining. I'll see you on the next week. And thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Bimlesh. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Have a great day.